I think the tools are certainly getting a lot better and a lot easier to use, so that's a step in the right direction. But the key about rapid learning isn't really about the tools, but the tools will do the job. And what's really nice about them nowadays is you really don't need a great deal of technical skill. It's just like a lot of what's called Web 2 tools, really. Those are very easy to use. I mean, anybody can put up a blog, can set up a wiki, etc. And the same happening with rapid learning. The tools are just very easy to use. So that's a step in the right direction. So good rapidly learning isn't really about being able to use a tool, it's still about learning design. In fact, you could argue that learning design is even more important with rapidly learning tools because you have less whistles and bells. So you really need very strong learning design, instructional design. And so for us that means engaging the learner, and that's really high quality writing. So if SMEs are going to do it, there is going to be quite a focus, I think, on being good quality writing. I think asking formative questions frequently throughout to keep the learner engaged. It's not presentation, click, presentation. You've got to keep asking questions, getting the learner engaged. So there are still skills for SMEs to learn. They're good writing skills, they're good learning design skills. Of course you need to know how to use the tool, but that's really just part of it. Okay, in terms of what's in it for SMEs, I think some of the key things are that suddenly they can say yes and do things that they couldn't do before, really. So suddenly things become possible. You can deliver short bits of quality learning in time frames that you just couldn't possibly deliver previously. So that's a major benefit for them. It gives them a lot more control. SMEs have a lot more control of the content, the maintenance, the updating. So there are benefits for the SMEs, but I think one of the key ones is just the ability to say yes, the ability to say, right, we will get something out there in a very quick and fast and cost-effective manner. In terms of barriers to rapidly learning, the biggest single barrier must be to SMEs is their time. Everybody that we work with across all types of corporates and public sector organisations and government organisations, there's real pressure on their time. So finding the time to do this correctly is really quite important. We generally find that they work well with a designer who can help them develop it at speed. And you get little teams of two, an SME and a designer working at pace together, works really well. Time is probably the biggest factor. There are some technical skills to learn. They've got to be good at writing, they've got to be good at learning design, but finding the time appears to be the fundamental barrier. Okay, I hope not. That's my first response to that. I don't think so. In fact, rapidly learning, suddenly we're finding huge demand for rapidly learning. When we're talking to large corporates and small corporates, we're getting a lot of demand for things to be turned around incredibly quickly. I took a call only this morning saying, can we have something up by next Friday? It's got to be on the LMS, it's got to be SCORM compliant, it's got to be working. And the pace of life is just so fast now that things need to be turned around quickly. And what rapidly learning really enables people to do is to say yes more often. Before a training department couldn't do it. The manager would walk in and say, got an urgent requirement, not much budget, can't compromise on quality, it's all going to change again next month, can we do it? And I think what rapidly learning enables you to do is to say, actually yes, we can do that. So that's resulting in a huge demand for us. To the extent we can't keep pace with a lot of the work that's coming through, really. So it's a lot of it, it's about helping and supporting internal teams. It's not about taking it and doing it and putting it into a factory to be built. A lot of it is about us working with teams as part of their team, providing support. It might just be providing support on design, it might be providing support on scripting, but it's working alongside internal teams to help them deliver.